Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Just one note before we get started. I'm probably not going to be available for the whole month of May. After next week is finals week, and then I'll be doing some other stuff for the rest of the month. So I will be having some scheduled videos. Those will be coming out regularly. So I will have content uploaded, and I'll be interacting with you guys during that time. But I won't have any live content like Challenge of the Week and things like that for the next month or so. That also means live streaming is going to have to wait until June. And at that point, hopefully I can do some regular live streams with you guys, playing a lot of ranked seasons and things like that. But before I go next week, I will have a few days where I'm just going to be playing ranked seasons, basically non-stop for a couple of days, and I'll try to live stream that, try to get to World Series within like the first week of May. And then I'll be gone for that month. So now on to this video where I'll show you how you can save some stubs and then never have to flip cards the rest of the year. What's up guys, how are you doing today? I mentioned in the update video that we're going to do a little bit of mission planning, and I don't want to get into every single card or how to get every single card, but I want to give a little bit of a general kind of organization plan for you guys in case you want to do specific cards or if you want to try to get every single immortal. So as you can see, I've done a handful of these individual cards and then some of these career arcs as well. And I'm working on some of the immortals, got some diamond cards as well in here. Piazza, just got the Jones, very nice card. I wanted to share with you guys some of the optimization that you can do to try to get these immortals without wasting any stubs. There's 12 career arcs available, and there are 12 immortals available right now. Obviously you can't get those actual immortal cards yet, but I'm saying the programs are set for you if you want to start grinding and start exchanging for those. So obviously 12 and 12, that basically fills out an entire team. You only get 2 relievers and 2 relievers, so you have to fill them in eventually. Maybe they'll put in some more immortals and career arcs for those relievers, but what it tells you is you don't really want to do every single one of these programs. So you can go ahead and pick and choose what you want. I left out Robinson, I'm not going to do Ripken, and I'm not sure if I'll do Seaver or Ryan, but if I do, it'll be later on. And I'll probably end up doing Gossage and Wagner as well. And then the career arcs I'm basically just doing according to whatever immortal I have. So Utley's a decent card, but I'm not going to do Robinson, so I'm not going to waste my time on Utley. The other guys I did, like Torrey, I probably won't use anymore, but I wanted him to get Chipper, right? So that's how I planned to do my career arcs. Got Lee Smith coming. I did Molitor and Carter because I want to get the Piazza and Pujols as well. Now here's the big thing. So like I was mentioning about stubs, each of these immortals can cost you, if you're like pretty frugal with your stubs, doing buy orders and things like that, being patient, you can probably get all of these for 40k each, probably each of these for about 8k to 10k. But let's call it on average, if you're not going to be frugal, you're going to try to do it as fast as possible. Instead of doing buy orders, do buy nows, that kind of thing, right? Let's call each immortal 50,000 stubs each, and each career arc 15,000 stubs. That makes it 780,000 stubs to do all 24 of these players, right? And we mentioned you're probably not going to do all 24. Probably going to do like 8 of each, right? 8 to 10 maybe. If so, probably around, I don't know, 600,000. I didn't do the math on that, but if you're averaging 50,000 and then 15,000, you can just do the math on multiply however many you want to do. And now the big thing about that is we're talking about 780,000 stubs, and once you get to that point, you never have to work the market again. So what I'm saying is you put that 780,000 stubs in, you do every single one of these 3 exchanges for each player, and then you're at 15% for each of them, right? So if you look at the Jackie Robinson right now, when you get to 15%, you only get the gold card, the pack, and you get 1,000 stubs, right? But each immortal gives you 15,000 stubs as you go through it, right? What that means is if you're doing all of the exchanges, you're sitting right here and you have 14,000 stubs left to go in every single immortal, right? Let's say these guys 1, 2, 3,000 stubs. So you get a little bit back for these guys as well. So obviously they haven't released all of the immortals, right? And they haven't released all of the career arcs. But once your exchanges are in, you're off the hook for how many stubs you have to put in for each of those guys, right? So once your 50k is into Piazza, all you're trying to do is these missions, these stat missions, and moving along as you go. Obviously you can do a little bit more than the exchanges. You can get up to 3,000 stubs for them right now, probably up to 5,000. But you can't get these last 10,000 stubs or so at this point. Which means you've already made your investment. You have 0 stubs left to put into Piazza. You have 0 stubs left to put into each of these guys. And they're just going to pay you back as you do those missions, right? Which means I had 780,000 stubs. I spend 780,000 stubs. But then as I do these missions, I'm getting stubs back, which I can use for the future career arcs and the future immortals. So I don't have to go back and flip cards or worry about the market, because I just got those, let's say that's 15,000 stubs back for each immortal. And let's say you do 10 of the immortals, you get 150,000 back. And that's enough to get you 3 more immortals, right? And then those 3 immortals are going to give you 50,000 back, which is enough for, or 45,000 back, which is enough for another immortal. With those 780,000 stubs, you can actually get close to 16 or 18 immortals. And then all of the career arcs as well, which is really, really cool. Basically, if you get that 780,000 stubs, you never have to work the market again. You're going to have a full team of 99s and high diamonds. And then if you choose to, you could mess around and try to get other cards, some live series cards, like a Trout or something like that. But Trout actually costs, you know, how much 4 immortals costs, 3 or 4 immortals. So is he really worth it? I don't know, because he's not even as good as the immortals, right? And when I had started this game last month, I had been planning to get Vlad the whole time. I'd been saving and flipping and trying to get to Vlad, but I probably won't get to Vlad for another few months. So I figured, you know, go ahead and get these immortals, and you can get all of the immortals for like a fourth of what Vlad would cost. One really good 99 like Vlad is not worth 16 plus, you know, an entire team worth that you can get in a much, much shorter time. So that was kind of my thinking. And I know obviously a lot of you guys have already figured that out. But I just thought Vlad was a really cool card, and I'd never done a full live series collection before, so I kind of wanted to do that. But I realized it's just really, really dumb if I don't have the time or the patience or the money to spend on it. It's really not worth one card in exchange for 16 plus another, you know, 16. Basically a full team worth instead of that one card. Because I do have time to grind a little bit, and if you have the time to grind, get all these cards. Didn't mention it, but you know, all these missions that I did, probably less than 2 weeks. I finished 6 of these guys, and you know, close to four of these guys. So yeah, my mistake was that I went ahead, and when I was at about 120,000 stubs, I started doing these missions. And I just burned right through it. So now I don't have enough to finish the Babe. Piazza, I have like a couple left. Pujols, Griffey, all these guys, like barely any of these exchanges are done. I only did a couple and burned right through my stubs. So if you're able to save all those stubs, you know, obviously it's pretty hard to get up to that 780,000 total. Probably more if you're not going to be frugal. But if you are able to get up to that number, you're going to be done flipping for the rest of the year, which is really cool. And I honestly am not that good at flipping, so I don't know if I can give you any advice on that. But that's really the goal. If you haven't started these programs already, or if you want to do the programs, you know, if you're trying to stagger them as well, like I'm going to go back and do this now. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say 7 and 8. 8 guys that I want to do. Let's assume that I have no exchanges done for these guys. So 8 times 50,000 is 400,000, right? So my total before I start spending on these guys is I want to save up 400,000 stubs before I do any more exchanges. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to sit on stubs until I have 400,000. Once I have those 400,000, man, I do not have to flip cards for the rest of the year. And I can probably get to 400,000 from 50, probably by the end of the month. And, you know, that would be huge. Then I don't have to flip. I'm just grinding away for the rest of the year. Because once I finish those exchanges and I finish those grinds, then I'm going to be handed back another, 15,000 for each of those guys. And I think that's just the most efficient way to do it. So if you haven't gotten started, or if you already done a little bit, I'd say take that into account. If you really hate flipping and things like that, then, just focus and sit on stubs until you can get to your total. And hopefully that'll help you out a little bit and just make the rest of the year really enjoyable. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and want to see more like it, hit like and subscribe. If you want to see something new or have a specific part of the game you want help with, be sure to leave a comment and we'll all try to help out. Peace.